My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Slay the Spire 2. Oh, Necro, do you want to just solve my problems by showing me a path that I have to take a bunch of enemies so the fishing hook becomes a good idea? Hold up. There is currently... Okay, so we would hit, by this point, 2 upgrades from the fishing hook. 2 upgrades from the fishing hook on a 3 upgrade line. Oh, that's a lot of card choices as well. Damn, dude. I think I might be able to get enough value. Oh no. It's competing against 4 early question marks, 2 rests before my first elite as well. Although that would not be a good fishing rod path. That would almost certainly be a hefting tablet path. Well, maybe let's take a second to look at that hefty tablet. So Hefty Tablet gives us a choice of rare, so we could see any of these, except for obviously the multiplayer ones. Let's tag those out. So let's start by thinking about which of these are independently strong. Eradicate's independently strong. Undeath is independently strong. End of day is... Oh, damn, it's actually a lot thinner than I thought. You know what? Let's do it. Let's take as many fights as we can. Especially because we're playing Necrobinder, so we have a lot more ease with those fights than we might have with other characters. Just gotta make sure that I cover my general bases, AoE, a little bit big defense, those kinds of things. Deathstore, Cleanse, and Wisp. Let's go with Cleanse. It's the only one of those that I don't think I should take. So that makes it the perfect thing to take. Of course, it'd be really nice if after this I saw a card that just says do X, Y. It doesn't matter what X or Y is, it just needs to do a thing. It doesn't, it just don't. Damage, ideally. Defense, maybe. That'll do it. Out of Demise. Fetch, Reap, Grave Warden. Okay, it's either going to be Fetch or Grave Warden. I'm going to take Fetch with the possibility that if we see another Osty attack, it's going to be really easy for us to trigger it. Defend, Cleanse through Ascender's Bane, damage. As long as Osty is getting more health on average than losing, these fights are very sustainable for us. But it's also worth noting, I need to make sure that I don't fool myself into thinking that our deck is actually good as well while doing this, because Necro is uniquely capable of living much longer with a deck that should not be alive, just because you can store so much additional HP in Osty. Dirge, Defy, and Fear. Independently strong, I want to Defy. We also got an upgraded... I actually think I need to push damage here. We got an upgraded Defender, which is a pretty good hit. I feel like I'm probably going to have to use the Powdered Demise to help push through this boss. This elite, rather. It could also be pretty good in the Ceremonial Beast fight, to be fair. Eek. Tough. I draw my best defense on the turn the enemy is not attacking there. Still just short of taking damage to our actual body. Thank heck that we drew additional defense this turn. Just enough to not take damage to our body. Oh my god. There you go. Again, just enough to not take damage to my body. Of course, the deck is getting thinner and thinner and thinner while I'm doing this. I'm just removing more and more base strikes. So eventually, even if it was a bit of a rocky road getting there, we should get to a point where we are relatively consistent in our defense. That'll do it. Debilitate, Melancholy, and Grave Warden. Given that we already have a Defy in the deck, I can see the value in the Debilitate, especially because basically every turn that's going to be a really good outcome against Ceremonial Beast, because Ceremonial Beast basically, at least in its first half of its fight, just hits you. That's all it does. And then it's reliable hits afterwards, so again, Debilitate turning 25% less damage into half damage is really good. And it's also a card that says that it does damage, and 10 damage is not to be ignored right now. I need 10 damage in this deck. Cleanser or Sender's Bane, because I'm probably going to have to cleanser a couple of cards. I really want to save this potion for the Elite fight upcoming, but I do see how valuable it could be against the Slithering Strangler in this fight. Yeah. Just going to remove that frontliner. Makes it a lot easier to be going on with. Alright, that one. Defy Strike. Oh, that was tough. I missed out on the strike that I was supposed to be playing there. I tried to play my cards too fast. Too fast. I hope 6 damage does not cause a gigantic difference in outcome here. It does not. Beautiful. Pull from Below, So, and Wisp. I will say, Pull from Below will get pretty good in the boss fight. I will play Defy enough times that eventually Pull from Below will just be a good card. I feel like it's probably worth taking, especially because we haven't really found any more of the Osti sub-theme to turn into damage. This one's a rest, begrudgingly. But yeah, we're about to get upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Upgrade, 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 upgrade. Bygone Effigy. Taking 10 damage a turn. Sorry, 9 damage a turn rather to Demise. Ooh, Defy. Beautiful. No damage to our actual body yet. Of course, we will take a fair whack to the actual form. Unfortunately, yeah. Come on, weak next turn. Defy, defy, defy. Ooh! With the Debilitate as well. Thank you kindly. 14. We take no actual damage to our body this turn. And we get out of the fight with no more actual damage taken. Beautiful. Prayer Wheel! This early? Normal enemies drop an additional card reward. Can I please get Pale on the other side of this as well? Enfeebling Touch is additional defense as well as scaling for Pale from below. So I definitely see the value in it there. Let us up. Is it up defense or up offense? It's up. It's up Debilitate for the additional management of weak and maybe vulnerability in the future. We don't know. Gonna score a card upgrade out of this. Pretty hard not to be excited about that. Especially given how much of the base deck is not strikes at this point. I'm even fine if you upgraded Defend. Just don't hit a strike, please. Nice. Pull from below for 15 here. Like, sure, it's not finishing the fight, but it's pretty good. Strike got upgraded. Blech. Lethality is another ethereal card, which does make it pretty valuable in the world that we have Pull from Below, especially because you only have to play it once. Misery, spreading debuffs is really good in the world where I've got Debilitate and Defy and Enfeebling Touch, frankly, in the deck. Take the Misery. Friendship. I don't think I can afford to lose strength myself, unfortunately. Drain Power. No, this deck has scaling damage already. What it needs is additional defense. If anything, I take Pull from Below Sorry, pull aggro. And that's only if I take something. I'll take it. I'm still uncertain about the value of pull aggro. I don't know whether it's really good or fine. But it's one of the two, and I'll figure it out sooner or later. Mm-hmm. Ten, 5, frontline down. Defy pull aggro, beautiful. Pull aggro certainly shown its worth on that turn. Misery. Cut through those cards. 21 incoming. And I don't even have to take damage in response. It's beautiful. High five. I feel like I just have to take it because this is a source of AoE. It's also a source of vulnerability. The thing I don't really have yet in the deck that has debilitate otherwise. I don't think a second pull aggro makes sense though. I take high five and I leave. Was that high five or did I randomly? Okay. I thought I accidentally clicked countdown there. Ooh. I feel like pull aggro is essential here, just for the safety. 11 damage on turn 1. Actually, hang on. We will use the draw potion, and we'll use it on that second turn. First turn happens the same, but here I'm just going to throw the weak and then draw. Yeah, it's not even great, the actual outcome we get from that, unfortunately. But I'll push additional damage wherever possible, take 3 to Osti. Yeah, I was really hoping to get debilitate maybe last turn. Could have been handy. Wow, fetch would have been really handy as well. No defy, huh? One more turn for defy to be useful, and there it is. I'll defend. Enfeebling will cleanse through whatever's not the high five, and then high five next turn. Anchor, Sludge combat with 10 block, and Domain. It's Domain. I don't have much setup in this deck. If I can find the time to play Domain, everything's ridiculous. I do feel like I'm a little threatened here. I'm gonna rest. Defy Enfeebling, and I'm gonna cleanse through a bad strike. Yeah, I mean, if this is what... Yeah, sure, Domain, Debilitate, Defend. It's not an incredible turn, but now I'm drawing an additional card and gaining additional energy every turn, which makes pretty much all of our other turns pretty incredible. Not even going to take damage to my body. Ow. That one hurt a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I don't think I could afford to set vulnerability up that turn, sadly. All from Blow is currently trying to do a 5 hit though, which is nice. I could add a lot of damage to this turn with a flex pot. Approximately much damage. As much as I can do to shore up our temp HP is going to be huge there for us. Sadly, none of these are really defensive. I'm tempted to throw Debilitate just because I know I've got Defy the next hand. So we can kind of invalidate the damage of this turn, and then I can use doubling up on the vulnerability as well. Now it's basically about drawing into pull from below, and there it is. 10 by 8. GG. And yeah, I would have died if I didn't rest before the fight. Well, that's curious. If I find enough time, is upgrading to domain next floor literally just like a win con? Just you now have enough value to roll through everything? Luminescence. Retain, gain 2 energy, exhaust, and it starts in your opening hand. That's just the ability for me to force the first domain onto the field. There's a 2 elite, 3 rest late shop on that right-hand side. There is a early shop, 3 rest, 2 elite on the left hand. They're kind of indistinct from one another, but I want the shop earlier. So I'll take this left. Mm-hmm. Enfeebling Touch, then Misery, shares those debuffs with everyone else on the field. I can put the frontliner, who's guaranteed to attack next turn, strike away from dead. Beautiful. I don't even have to play both domains. Sure, I want to. Grave Warden. Grave Warden. Do I double take Grave Warden here? I do need additional defense, and it still is my favorite defend card in this character. I would love a source of single target vulnerability, but do I need AoE to survive it? I do. Yeah, absolutely. Give me Exterminate. I don't have a good enough source of that in the base deck. Ooh, 2 additional cards in the opening hand. Big fan. I also do like Happy Flower. Extra cards, extra energy, always pretty good. Kifuda. Chance up to 3 cards with the droids. I don't really think any of those are a better idea with you, droid. Give me the bag of prep. And then I'm going to remove a strike. See, by getting relics and removing a card there, rather than buying any cards, I'm just guaranteeing that the power that was offered by that store is available to me constantly. Like on our first turn and every 3 turns, rather than having to draw into it or anything like that. And I feel like this deck is in a position where that's all it really needs. I'll debilitate the back line, because the front line's going to be staggered anyway, so it's not going to matter. Domain, high five. Fetch. There you go. Exterminating. Spread that. Okay. And then full aggro, defend, exterminate. Great. I'm going to wait 1 turn before killing the enemy for the sake of the Happy Flower to trigger on the very first turn of the next combat, especially because we have the 2 additional cards in the opening hand. That's really valuable if I can afford to do that. I'm happy to take a second copy of Defy. No more than that, though. God, if I had like a single big damage card, I'd probably corrupt it here, but it's Transformer Strike. It's better than the Strike, but it's not very different. Both the domains need to be upgraded. Like, they're how we get advantage. Mm-hmm. Can I please have my Enfeebling Touch? Good lord. The things they'll give you that aren't Enfeebling Touch. I can Equilibrium this out. It's worth more than we spent. Grey Warden is almost equal to actually what we're spending on this one. But it means that my next hand is going to be a full hand of cards, including Debilitate. 2 Defies. A Soul? Are you kidding me? Domain is the bottom card of the deck. Thank you. I'd love the enemy to be vulnerable sometime soon. Okay, there's that. So, high 5 to make him vuln. We've got pulled from below for 40 this turn. It's just short. Oh no, we wouldn't have been just short if I'd played the ball. If I played the cleanse earlier. Damn. I will go for the Grey Warden there because it's better, and then I'll draw as many cards as I need to kill you this turn, friend. Potion of Doom, Juzu Bracelet, Borrowed Time, Afterlife, Dredge. These don't feel necessary to me. Maybe Dredge, especially if I upgraded it with Retain. Pull back the right cards at the right time. It's not as important even still, I think. Kusarigama, whenever you play 3 attacks in a single turn, deals 6 damage to a random enemy. If I sneak up rather than even cut across to another elite, so I can take low risk if I'm doing that. But if I sneak upwards, I get another upgraded card before I leave the floor. Domain? Ugh. I had such a defensive hand last hand. Do you remember how defensive it was? Defend, 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 defend. I mean, that was... doesn't necessarily count. But, yeah, it was... Oh, it was nice. Oh, it was so beautiful. When I was young, it seems that I was so defendable. Predictable. Reliable. Structural. There's the second domain down. That'll do. As long as I'm not taking damage. And frankly, with this amount of energy, if I am taking damage, we got bigger problems. Putrefy. Single copy of that. Very happy to take. This one's going to be rest up. I definitely don't think I'm going for the additional elite, which is much easier to justify when I'm also getting an upgrade for not doing it. Double domain! On the opening turn, no less. 2 more cards, 2 more energy per turn for me, thank you. Is there any debuff that I want to put out? Slumber I don't think is technically a debuff. I don't think I can spread that by hitting the Slumbering Beetle and everyone goes to sleep as a result. But I can give everyone additional vulnerability and also imbalanced. Whenever they are fully blocked, they become staggered. Which, you know, I can also even trigger this turn for the Bullbug Silk. Debilitate and Defy hits that back line. Poke finishes the front. Defy again, just for the additional weaken. Oh, wow. I did not think we had the damage to take out the Slumbering Beetle that turn. I think it's just because of the size of the actual unit of the Slumbering Beetle that I look at it and I'm like, of course not. How could we? Eradicate's not bad, but is it... Oh, yeah, it's actually really good in this deck. I've got enough domain for it to be good. High 5 Exterminate. Defy domain, Putrefy, and drop Pull Aggro as well, just for yucks. Oh, damn. All right. There's Debilitate. Oh my god, I didn't think we were going to draw it. But yeah, now we've got the ability to spread that with Misery. And kill the Obcopter as well. Defy gets an upgrade there. Lethality. It's still really good. Although I will say, so is Invoke if we've got a retaining Eradicate. But so is Lethality if we've got a retaining a retaining Eradicate. Lethality wants an upgrade badly, but can I do that before the frog? Yes, but I think only because I have that weaken potion can I afford that. So much of this deck is non-defense. After I play it out, I think I can get this. Domain will enfeeble for the turnaround. Perfect. I'm gonna Defy and Weaken and Potion of Doom because I've got the Misery and I might as well make best use of it here. Domain again, will Defy and Debilitate to turn around. Nullifying the incoming damage. We've still got Weaken available on Rocket. Let's fetch. Drop Lethality and pull aggro. High 5 and unleash. Yeah, so we take a hit. We take a fairly big hit, in fact. Next turn, I'm not vulnerable anymore. Oh, they're not vulnerable anymore. Or I'm not weakened. They're not vulnerable anymore, so Eradicate suddenly becomes really good. Like, it's 28 by 5 here. This is not enough to kill, but if I turned around, it would be enough to kill Rocket. Right? Oh, no, actually, it's 21 by 5 on you. Oh, because of the debilitation. So 21 by 5 means it would be 105 on you. Which, yeah, it does put us short of lethal still. But it doesn't put us too far from pushing for lethal. Cleanse the worst card in the draw. That's got to be Strike. We'll still have Eradicate available on the next turn where we're not weakened. And we'll even have it with Lethality available if I want that. So 19 by 5, and then we turn around immediately. That's worth it. Forces us to turn around immediately. Luminescence gives us Defy and Enfeebling Touch. Fetch for the draw, and that turn. That's also more ethereal cards played. Which might not seem especially relevant right now, but it will become so. As soon as I draw my Pull from Below, and it says do infinity bazillion damage. Yeah, like this. 17 by 9. So glad we got the upgrade there as well. Third Domain! What about it? 9 cards a turn? Sorry, 8 cards a turn? It does seem too much. But... I mean, I think Hang would also be good. Especially against certain bosses next floor. Just play it enough times, cycle it enough times, win that way. My main concern next floor is Eon Glass. Hang wouldn't be especially good against the test subject, but I feel like against the test subject we would be able to scale out of control just through the Pull from Below with no problem. The Eon Glass fight is probably the worst for us because other than Cleanse, one copy of which I have no way to remove the Withers from the draw pile or the active hand. And it's not like I have enough defense just to cut through them. I feel like Reanimate's a lot of safety. Taking a Third Domain. Transform Wall Strikes and Defends is certainly good here. They're the worst cards in the deck by a country mile. Philosopher's Stone, gain additional energy. I will say, I have enough energy, and I have little problem playing out my domains, so I don't think that's how it go. Forbidden Grimoire would just be cutting Strikes and Defends then from the deck, which isn't a problem. The deck gets better when we do that. Not only does it get better when we do that, but that also encourages us to take a bunch of normal fights. And we're already, you might remember, from the very first start in this video game that we had, encouraged to take some of those anyway. Courtesy of the fishing rod, you see. Lethality, and then Eradicate's trying to do 19. I could do 8 by 19. Assuming it's 8 by 20, that is 160, just short of lethal. Damn. If only you were vulnerable. I don't know if it's a good idea to ignore that much damage. I don't think it can be. Yeah, kills him next turn as a result. Light Strike, Reap, Wisp, no thank you. Defy, Poke, Negative Pulse. Remember when I said we're not taking another Defy? Stand by it. Oof. Lethality, Domain. We can drop High Five and defend, but we are going to be taking some damage to the dome. Oh, couldn't I have gotten that Enfeebling Touch last turn, huh? I'm just going to eradicate to kill the back line and then push through the front. Defile, drain power, no. Spur upgraded. No, I'm not retaining health in that guy at all, so it's not like we can really get the full value of 13 out of this, and if you can't get the full value of 13 out of it, it's much less valuable to you overall. Second debilitate? Maybe word upgraded. Ice cream! You scream! Bread. At the start of your first turn, lose 2 energy. At the start of all other turns, gain an energy. You know what helps balance that out? Not ice cream, but luminescence, actually. It seemed like ice cream was going to be the answer to the question I asked there. I recognize that in retrospect. No need to do any of those. Maybe debilitate could have been pushed, but I don't think luminescence was worth playing that. Great. So I can basically just wait until Eradicate is lethal, right? That's our game plan, I think. Oh, why'd you have to weaken me? That's rude. Bye. Grave Warden. High five. Enfeebling touch. Oh, I cleansed the only card of the draw pile, which was the soul that I had already put there. Oops, that was not... Should have looked at the draw pile before doing that. Got one more turn of weakness. Okay. There you go. All right. 19 by 28. Yeah, seemed to go okay. Block potion, super handy. Yeah, I'll take a second pull from below. One that's upgraded. That's enough to convince me. Then rest site. Let's upgrade the other domain. Just paper. Every 5 times you exhaust a card, draw one. So if I took this path, I could go for another card upgrade. I got a domain out there, and that's good enough. Gotta make sure I keep him vulnerable, because now it's just about gathering as much energy as I need to cast Eradicate. Alright, yeah, that was frailty they gave us there, so finish them off one turn after. Fire Potion's going to be bigger than a Fire Potion for us. I think Veil Piercer has a placement in the deck just because of how much energy it can save for us. Reaper Form. I can definitely afford to play a Reaper Form in the boss fight, so I'm not too concerned about that just because of the whole domain stuff situation we're doing. I will preemptively rest here because I would love to be able to take the full enemy line, rather. Defy and Debilitate in the opening hand is pretty exciting. Hell yeah. If I'm taking no damage on turn 1, that's about as well as it goes. Another domain. Single target cards aren't really worth that much here. I'm going to drop a block pot. Thank heck we have Enfeebling Touch for this turn, because good lord. Enfeebling Touch, Veil Piercer plays Domain. Let's get the Forbidden Grimoire out there so I can still be useful. 2 more turns of weakness. 2 more turns of weakness is not really worth playing anything now. I just play the... You're not going to weaken me again this turn, are you? You wouldn't. To an old friend, right? Rhapsody. Oh, Rhapsody poo. Oh, you wouldn't. I'm hoping they don't. Never mind, I'm still going to be weakened. Great. That said, pretty sure the math works out for us there. Aerobic acid, huge upgrade on our potion. Random attack skill and power into hand, and they're free to play this turn. Bone shards. I am killing Allsteed, but bone shards is good for an AoE fight. That's just not relevant to us. Cut. Base defense. 2 more normal fights to go. Oh, that's fun. Let's putrefy. Then misery to share it. Then drop a veil piercer out as well. That's our first domain for free. Or not. Maybe it's a different card for free, like a Defy. You ever think about that? Maybe it's a Defy, huh? Huh? Why did you say? And it was you. I insist on you getting the record straight here. Why did you just say that it was definitely going to be useful, huh? The domain? I never would have said that. And another domain. Beautiful. Thank you for giving all of my strength points back. I'm happy to see him. Now, I figure 28 by 8 is going to be enough to take that bad boy down. I don't think a Sculpting Strike is worth putting into this deck. I can take that hit. It's pretty minor. Worth holding on to the resources for later turns if you need them then. If. Domain. Grey Warden, Domain, Putrefy, Debilitate, throw a Beyond in. Whoa, I was not thinking we were getting all the way down to lethal there. But I guess with Reaper form, I've got to consider that more often. Yeah, we're fine. None of those needed. Cut the base strike from the deck. And it is time for our final rest. Get back up to 49 HP. I do think Eon Glass is going to be by far the harder of our combats that we have to deal with here. Removing your artifacts is going to be pretty important as well, so definitely dropping Defy on you this turn. Fetch before anything else. And then we'll have a look at this power potion. Damn. Reaper form. Okay. Oh, double Reaper form. That's a lot of damage right there. I'm gonna drop lethality, and then I'm a little worried about how non-defended I am. So I'm gonna get no additional defense. That's my plan, as it turns out. Five. With yeah, I don't really have a defensive anything this turn, which means my best outcome now is kill the enemy. Basically this turn. Okay, still be weakened by then. Yeah, 36 is way too much damage. That's gonna cause the House of Cards to come crumbling down. Beautiful. We managed to wrangle a full defense out of the turn. 6 additional is going to be tough, though. Defy. Debilitate, defend. We've already got the kill as long as I survive this turn. So... let's leave it there. Yeah, look, I really wish I didn't have to use the aerobic on turn 2. I wish I just drew some defend cards there. Would have been a lot better. Alas. I can't get through this fight without playing lethality, annoyingly, so I had to play it. Okay. Reperform, eradicate kills them. We're out of energy and we have no domains played and the enemy is incoming with 33 damage this turn. I think we're probably gonna die. I'd like that not to be the case, but I wouldn't have put all of those cards there. I might have put them somewhere else. I'm gonna get rid of that misery so they... oh boy. Why? My deck! It just needs one of them in the early turns. The wheels really fell off in the last fight. It was taking that much damage to Eon Glass that didn't give us the ability to have the domains that low in the deck and still function. Ugh! Always happy to die to the second boss on A10, though. For the moment, my name? My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire 2, top left. This is a series playlist for all my content of the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations, and down below, streaming past, are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on Patreon.com/RhapsityPlays. Out of all the thanks here, and a special thanks this episode to Matthew. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.